that curfew order would then be enforceable by our police department because we've adopted it as a violation of the city code. And they could enforce it by, among other things, the issuance of a citation. That's the key. We could already enforce the law, or I say we, the police could already enforce this law, but the only way they could enforce it was by custodial arrest. So this gives the police another option, the option of issuing a citation in lieu of a custodial arrest.
Is this something for housekeeping that you would recommend possibly considering unanimous approval?
Well, it would give us an immediate ability to publish the ordinance and go ahead and begin the less stringent enforcement by citation. You know, until it is, unless and until it is adopted and published, the only option the police department has is custodial arrest for these violations. So that's certainly within the council's purview, not mine, but it would be appropriate for that to be considered, in my opinion.
Okay, any other council members have any comments?
I was right in the middle of it, so
I just want to, I want to state the fact that the city of Jasper is not saying that we're mandating people wear masks. That's coming down from the state level. We're just doing what I've been told. I took an oath to uphold, and so I'm not setting the law. We're just abiding by what the state has put forth. And then I'll follow that up by saying, you know, these are strange times. If my son can go to school and it stands in the way of him graduating or not graduating, he has to wear a mask, then, you know, he's gonna wear a mask. In the for-profit world, I have to wear a mask to get a paycheck, so I'm gonna wear a mask. So I don't like it. I didn't like back in high school Kenneth Abbott telling me how long my hair could be, but in order to graduate, you know, I stayed within the guidelines. But I came in here with a pretty well made up mindset of what I was going to do. But I mean, I want to reiterate, I'm not setting the law. That was done by the governor of the state of Alabama. So that's all I have to
and
say.
it will definitely help us on November 8th, if something changes throughout the road, so. We're not having to continuously change ordinances,
So council, what do you recommend we do today?
I think it would be appropriate for the council to consider unanimous consent. If not, this could constitute an introduction and it could be acted on at the next meeting.
With the understanding that, yes, right now they're only, I guess, to arrest if it went to that point.
To me, the unanimous consent, this is my opinion, has a very positive thing. We're not passing a mask ordinance, we're just allowing, and I think Jed put it most appropriately, we're following state law, which we have to follow anyway, we're just following state law with a less penalty than is available to the police department right now.
And Danny, who is at the hospital at this time while he's has read over, and I've discussed and went over some of the things with him when I left Russ's office yesterday, so he's able to.
That also brings up another point. If I have a sick loved one in the hospital and all that stands between me getting to see them and visit them, maybe for the last time, is wearing a mask or not, then I'm gonna wear a mask.
But none of that has to do with the law. That's choice.
That's
a choice.
I'll make the motion.
I have a question. I was supposed to be allowed to speak on this. Am I not going to be allowed to speak before you vote?
Well, this isn't a mask ordinance. We're not passing any mask.
So you're not allowing me to speak at all about the state mandate?
Oh, you
We haven't
can
comment.
You're on the agenda.
But are y'all voting at this moment?
No.
It sounded like you were about to vote.
Yes, we
Number
are.
20.
Should I, Should I not speak before you vote? Because it impacts this.
All you're asking for is to consider the order.
Yeah, what I'm doing is asking them to approve the ordinance that was presented, but it wasn't the ordinance that she came to the council, to the work session about.
So you
It's
will
not
not,
that one.
you will not allow me to speak.
Ma'am?
You will not allow me to speak.
Yes,
Oh, I'm glad you speak now, as far as I'm concerned.
Is that okay?
Go to the podium, state your name, you have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Name and address.
Okay.
Rose, Alabama. I work here and shop here, so it affects me and other citizens. I was forced to wear a mask here today against my will, therefore waiving my rights under intimidation in order to exercise my right to be here. It appears to be a chilling effect that this week you require a mask and last week you didn't. And also that last week there were certain people, the attorney as one, we have pictures and videos, not wearing masks near other people, and this week it is now required. You keep calling this a law. It is not a law. You need to understand it is a mandate. Our governor does not have the ability to make a law. We have 3 branches of government. The legislature makes and passes laws and is limited by the Constitution. The executive carries out the law and the judicial evaluates the law. What is the job of the government? It can be found in Section 1, as Article 1, Section 5, to protect the rights of the citizens. Article 1, Section 35 states, the sole object and only legitimate end of the government is to protect the citizen in the enjoyment of life, liberty, and property. And when the government assumes other functions, it is usurpation and oppression. The sole purpose is not to regulate the health, safety, and welfare of the citizen, it is to protect our rights. The governor is under the executive branch. She cannot pass a law. Her mandates are unconstitutional based on the legislature did not create this law, and it impairs the rights of the people. The state attorney said that the officials are sworn to uphold the law of Alabama, and going against the governor's mandates would be a violation of that. But our Constitution and Declaration of Independence are both law. They are part of organic laws as listed in Title I of the USC, and your duty as public officials is to uphold the Constitution first. And I will remind you of that oath. 2006 Alabama Code, Section 1143A 112, the oath of affirmation of mayor, councilman, officers, and employees. The mayor and every councilman, officer, and employee of the municipality shall, before entering upon the duties of his office, take and subscribe to the following oath or affirmation to be filed and kept in the office of the clerk. I solemnly swear or affirm that I am eligible for the office and will execute the duties of same according to the best of my ability, that I will support the constitutions and will obey the laws of the United States and the state of Alabama, that I will in all respects observe the provisions and ordinances of the city and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office. This week I was required to wear a mask. Last week I was not. Explain that to me. This is a chilling effect in here. This is chilling the rights you're taking away from people. Can y'all answer that question?
You were in a council meeting and were not required to put on a mask?
I was in a work session last Friday.
I was here without a mask
I was
too.
also here without
There
a
were
mask.
quite a few people in here without masks. The attorney took his mask off when he was right next to the mayor to speak with him. He was not arrested. No arrests were made. Why this week? Why now? Why the new sign? Why?
The sign was not here Friday.
I did not see that Friday.
I put it up here. That's not here.
Okay, well, it wasn't here Friday.
July 16th.
So, I just want to ask one. Are you upholding all of the law, or are you pick and choosing? Because I was told that even though I have a medical exemption, I had to wear this mask, even if I had a medical exemption, even though the governor states that if you have a medical exemption, you don't have to. And I was also told, even though I was 6 feet away from someone else, I still had to wear a mask. But then I was told that, oh, well, I can take this off when I speak. How are you deciding? How do you choose? Because the governor gave me 3 different ways I could not wear a mask, and you took all but one of them away. How have you decided that? You're going above what the state says to do, even if the state is constitutional, which it's not in this matter. You're wrong. Hold your Constitution up, do what's right. And y'all aren't answering the question that I had. Why this week and not last week? You haven't answered it. You weren't here.
No, I wasn't here.
Yeah, this week.
And this is a time that, yes, sometimes we have to take them off, we have to speak, I have 4 autoimmunes and my daughter has a rare autoimmune. I'm not gonna get into a personal debate here. Yes, these are aggravating to me too. But one, when I've been exposed, I am not going to try and be around other people. And then 2, I hope that if anybody at all thinks that they may, that they would never breathe on my daughter either, because I cannot go through that hell again. So, I know I have a little bit different standard. I'm sorry that the other day you came in and not everybody was, but that is when we stand up as individuals, and will put our mask on. But there's, some of the stuff you're demanding right here is
It's my right as a citizen. It's my right as a citizen
well-
under the Constitution law. You tell me it's not. I'm showing it to you.
We're not passing that ordinance, but we are going to go by what the,
Yeah, you're
the other one
you're
is.
gonna go by an ordinance, you're gonna go by the state mandate, not law, the state mandate. That is not constitutional. It is not constitutionally sound, and this is not okay.
And as long as we were 6 feet away from each other, the state says it's okay not to wear a
And
mask.
that you're not
And
gonna
that's
buy.
all we're doing.
But are we 6 feet? I mean, I could
Yeah.
possibly, yes, right now take mine off.
Yes, you
but-
could.
Yeah, we could all
Right.
just about.
So why
do that.
not?
No,
We
but
were told to put it back on or we would be
we're
taken
not
to jail.
within 6 feet. This is, okay, this is.
Can I speak as well, because I didn't get to be here for a minute, this is actually the first time I've been to a council meeting, but I'd really like to say something,
Get up and
if
speak.
I can.
Girl, just get up.
And for the audience,
We do.
she was on the agenda, and that's why I allowed her to go in and speak.
Thank you.
Because she was on the agenda, we will have comments. So,